Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, William Brandon.
I'm Demi.
Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dad and Demi, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss an episode. This week's episode, we're going to discuss the Atlanta Falcons game against the Minnesota Vikings.
We won, bro.
Yes, we did. I don't think the cat's out the bag because I think everybody already knew them Atlanta Falcons won 22-6. Now, we're going to get into the Atlanta Falcons game, and then we're going to give you a little preview of the Falcons against the Carolina Panthers. So let's go ahead and get into that. So, yeah, as Demi said, the Falcons did win. They went up to Minnesota and took care of business. They were coming off a loss from the previous week against Tampa, whereas Minnesota was coming off a win against the Bears. Well, that didn't mean much to these Atlanta Falcons. They went up there and pretty much controlled that game from front to back, offensive and defensive. 22-6, they did not allow a single touchdown by those Minnesota Vikings. I mean, I'm thrilled about how the boys played, how they went up there and handled their business. And I'm going to ask my co-host, man, what did you think about the game? What did you like about the game?
I like that Bijan, my twin, got a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah, he did, man. Bijan did real well. Bijan was 22 for 143, and he had 3 catches for 25. Tyler Algier had 16 for 76 and a TD. Anything else about that you were glad to see yesterday?
I was glad to see that Kyle Pitts was working hard.
Yeah, you see it, number 8. Kyle Pitts has been working hard. And I also want to give a special shout out to the defense. So if you're curious to what I liked, it's the defense. I was really proud of the defense yesterday. Defense had 6 sacks. I mean, the rookies played well. The sacks, we had Leonard Floyd, Zach Harrison, Brandon Dorlus, Jalen Walker, Pierce, and Rucaro both got a half a sack. And then the rookie defensive backs, Billy Bowman Jr., Billy Bowman Jr., and Xavier Watts both had interceptions in that game. I mean, they were flying all around the ball. And another thing I liked, the offensive line. The offensive line played well protecting for that run game. I mean, there was a point in the game that Bijan had more total yards than the entire Minnesota Vikings offense. So we were really doing our thug thizzle on offense yesterday. Now, I will say this, people were kind of curious about Michael Penix and how he did. Michael Penix played a well game. There were some passes that could have been better, but he played a great game. The big key is, folks, Michael Penix is not making turnovers. Michael Penix is not throwing picks. Michael Penix is not fumbling the ball. He's keeping us in these games, and we're allowed to be able to do the different things that we need to do. Now, we don't like to talk about what went wrong, but what we will do is, what do we think we could fix or do better? And we talked off camera about some things that you mentioned. What is something you think we can maybe fix or do better next time?
We can do better that Drake needs to hold on to the ball. Even though he even punched the ball, you still have it secured.
Very good. That's right. So Drake London, he had made a big catch and then tried to stiff arm, and the ball got punched out, and it did cause a fumble. And I think that's something Drake is aware of, and that we'll get better on. I will say another thing that we need to work on is maybe the timing. Mooney just got back, so that's understandable. He couldn't play in the preseason anyways, even if we did. But I think we handled business, and I think for the most part, the small things that we can go back and work on. The drops, maybe some of the overthrows. But as far as the running game and the defense, they were pretty stout. Oh, and one other thing. We got a new kicker. Right?
Right.
Yeah, Parker Romo made 5 field goals. Took over for Younghoe Koo, who did not make the flight out to Minnesota. But Parker Romo essentially had the game for us. He had to make multiple field goals. We did not score a touchdown to the very end, which was by Tyler Algier. And the Vikings, once we were in the red zone, essentially let us score. But Parker Romo, man, he came through. He made some clutch kicks. And I mean, to be his first time as a Falcon, didn't even meet some of the players till after the game. I think he did a great job. So, Parker, shouts out to you. I guess we'll be seeing you down in Peachtree City down there on a golf cart, man, here soon. But, hey, I'm excited to have you on the team. I think, well as Demi.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we are excited about how things are seeming to be playing out. Again, this is just one game, but that is a game that I felt like we needed, and then we showed some versatility on defense, and we showed that we can kind of punch you in the mouth and just run the ball down your throat. I mean, anytime you can have 200 plus rushing yards from both backs combined, that's a great thing. Let me make sure I covered everything on that. Yeah, looks like we did. Yeah, like you said. What'd you say?
Falcons versus Carolina.
Yeah, that's what's next. The Atlanta Falcons will travel to Charlotte this Sunday to take on the Carolina Panthers, who are currently 0-2. This past week, they lost to Arizona Cardinals in Arizona, and they were pretty much getting whooped, but they did have a valiant comeback. It got really close to where the Panthers even had a chance to either tie or take the lead late in the fourth. Now, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us, they did not win, so the Panthers did fall 0-2. At this time, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not played. They'll be playing on Monday night. And the Saints did lose to the 49ers. So the Falcons are sitting currently in second place right now in the NFC South. And like I said, things could be only going up from here. So the Falcons hopefully will handle business up in Carolina and take care of business. You got anything else you want to tell us about the game or this upcoming game that you're looking forward to?
It should be easy. I know we lost last time, but they got a terrible quarterback. What's his name?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. He played for Alabama. I did know that, but he's a terrible quarterback. And they got terrible,
offensive line.
Yes, offensive line.
Yeah, we're not too worried, but they are an NFL team, and as I told him, any given Sunday, any team can win. So the Atlanta Falcons keep the head on straight and go up to Charlotte and handle business. Well, as usual, we want to thank you for tuning in for another episode of Dad and Demi. So please make sure you turn on those notifications and subscribe. Bye, everybody.
Bye.